Hi, welcome. So we're going to be working through homework 5, and this is going to be problems 1 and 2, and we're going to be doing that by sort of setting up a simple game, and I hope this illustrates the point. So in this game, you've got two baskets. I'm going to draw them really big here, basket A, and you've got basket B, and what you want to do is you want to move everything from basket B into basket A, and there's some simple rules that you have to adhere to, and the first rule is that the span of A, whatever's in A, has to be maintained. So stay the same. The second rule that you would have to adhere to is one item at a time. Of course, if you didn't have the second rule, it would be pretty easy. You could just dump out A and dump B into A and you'd be done. So, before you play any game, I think it's important that you think about some things. And I'm going to write them down here. What can I win? Can I win? And should I even play? You know, that's just the third. Should I play? Is there a point? Is it worth what I win for the effort? So pause the video really quick, select which ones you think are appropriate. Okay, welcome back. I think all of these are appropriate. You should be able to answer all these questions before you play any game or do any task. But the one that I want you to sort of be thinking about here is, can I win? Is there even a point to playing? So let me set up some matrices here inside our bins A and B, and then we're going to discuss whether or not you can even win the game. So A is just going to be the identity matrix. So we're just going to draw some ones down here. I'm not going to bore you with the zeros. And then I'm going to draw in the numbers here. We're going to do it sparsely. 0, 0, 0, 2, 2. And of course, I'm not making this matrix off the top of my head. I had to think through and work this out so it would illustrate the example. Okay, so there's matrix A and B, and so the question you want to ask yourself is, can I win? And in order to figure out can you win, you should probably think about the fact that, does B even have the same span as A in the first place? Because if you have to maintain the span of A, whatever's in A, and B doesn't even have that original span, then you're doomed from the start. So how can you figure that out? And so I claim that you can figure that out by doing some row reductions here. And if you're not familiar with row reductions, I probably want you to pause the video and go look them up. But I will be doing a couple here. So looking at row 1 of B, I want to do a row reduction onto the second row there. So I'm going to write down, so row 1, I'm going to multiply that by -2, and I'm going to get, and that's going to be 6, 0, 0, 0, and then I'm going to add that to row 2 over here, and row 2 is just 6, 2, 0, 0, and then of course I'm going to get 0, 2, 0, 0, and that's going to be our new row 2, and I'm going to be able to insert that back in, insert this row back into a new B. So I'll draw the new B here just for one example. 3, 0, 0, 2, 0. And so, I won't bore you with the rest of these row reductions. You should be able to figure that out on your own. If you continue doing those row reductions, you're going to end up with this matrix. Okay, great. Well, what can you do with that matrix? Well, if you just do some divisions on that matrix, you're going to get, and I won't bore you with the zeros, you're going to get this. And then if you come up here and you move that matrix, you're going to notice it can rearrange the columns to get the identity matrix. And I'll fill in here just to fill in the zeros just to give it some oomph. You're going to get the identity matrix. And then you know exactly how to win the game and how to play the game. You're just going to be moving these matrices so that each time you move one into the slot, it fills in. So that one has to go in that one. It can go in any order, but it just has to replace that one. That one can go in to that one, and so on. And how could you be playing a game where you never had a shot? Well, if for instance somehow this reduced and this was a 0 over here in this column, then you could never move into this column over here. This column could never be filled with a 1 because you had a 0 to begin with. So that should help you think about the problem. Leave some comments in the comment section, please.